Comes to your clothes.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners. We're pickup artists. When it comes...
Daniel Asher and Jacob Denny with 4 each for the Rebels. Sam Ritchie and Ed Reese-Redmond with 5 each for the Trojans. Sixth time in the last 7 games, Nick, that the Rebels have found themselves down after 1 quarter.
Yeah.
To reverse that trend here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, they definitely have looked better throughout the year, but they definitely got back into it that quarter. They could have easily given up early when they were down 7, but they fought their way back.
Well, the defense was better in the second half of that quarter. They gave up 3 buckets right at the rim to start the game.
Yeah.
Trojans with the basketball to start the second quarter. Carter, Ritchie, Redmond, McNeilis, and Lewis. Ritchie got free again on a back cut at the rim, and he lays it in. Boy, Rebels are getting back cut to death. Denny tucks it in to the basket, put it up, lost it on the way up. Berger's there, though, to clean it up and lay it in. Brandon Berger with a bucket. First 2 for Brandon. He's out there with Denny, Brunk, Looney, and Donahue. 16-12. Carter to Ritchie on the wing. Ritchie averaging 7 points a game, already has 7. Redmond out front. Rebels hedge the screen, and Redmond throws it right to Donahue. Donahue waits for the traffic to clear, now brings it into the forecourt with the left-hand dribble. Left side, Brunk. Johnny facing up on Carter. Johnny down the baseline, out front to Denny. In the corner, Donahue. Thought about a 3, but instead gives it back out front to Brunk. 16-12, 6:50 to go here in the first half. Brunk with it left arc. Cut off, finds Denny. Denny to the bucket. Put it up, and he put it in with the left hand. Good finish by Denny. And Brian Shaughnessy would like a timeout. 30-second timeout as the Rebels have scored 4 straight. We'll keep it here. The Trojans lead on the Chick-fil-A board, 16-14.
Marion University asks, what are you made of? Find out now by filling out an application. It's free, and it takes less than 15 minutes. Visit them at marion.edu. Go Knights. At Ortho Indy South, their mission is to provide the highest quality, comprehensive bone, joint, spine, and muscle care to patients throughout the Midwest, the United States, and around the world. From diagnosis to recovery, their team is ready to get you back in action. Choose Ortho Indy South to be your official orthopedic provider.
Now Whiteland leads Indian Creek 19-17 after 1, and Warren up 21-13 on Center Grove. We'll be at Center Grove next Tuesday night. The makeup game. It's originally scheduled for a couple Saturdays ago. Carter St. John is in, a 5'9" freshman for the Trojans. And Nick Spearing has come on for the Rebels, a 6'1" junior. Rebels back within 2, have trailed by as much as 7. Redmond got away with a double dribble. Lewis to McNeilis, put it up, put it in on a slip screen. McNeilis got to the rim. Boy, the Trojans are getting all sorts of shots at the rim.
I mean, switching is great, but you have to communicate. Otherwise, you're going to give up those looks all night.
Brunk, top of the circle. Finds Spearing left side. Now Berger posting. Brandon turn and face to Denny on the right arc. Jacob tucks it in, fading away. Put it up, put it in, and drew the foul on Redmond. Oh, what a circus shot by Denny.
I will continue to say it because it's very true. The best part of his game is getting to the rim, either getting fouled or getting an easy bucket.
Absolutely. That's the second foul on Redmond, so he checks out. Max Wars is in for Looney. And also coming in for the Trojans is number 23, Andre Long, a 6-foot sophomore. Denny's free throw is good. Jacobs 5 for 5 from the line, and the Rebels are within 1. Carter and Carter St. John, 2 5'9"ers in the backcourt. Very small backcourt for the Trojans. Out there with Long, Ritchie, and McNeilis. Long's first touch, over to Carter. Rebels hedge the screen. Carter driving, in the lane, he traveled. Yep, they caught him. Here comes Asher back in. Berger gave the Rebels a nice stint, Nick, in his first time on the floor.
And I like the comment you made earlier in the year. Any points that he gives are bonus points.
Absolutely.
And that putback was very nice underneath the rim.
He's in to rebound and be physical, absolutely. Spearing walks it up for the Rebels. Denny comes to get it left wing. Now Asher forced off the block. Asher backs, kicks over to Brunk for a spot up three. Bang! He got it. And the Rebels have their first lead since early in the game. 20-18. Brunk's three, first Rebel three of the night, has put Roncalli back on top. Cooper shovels to Ritchie. He'll hoist up a three. That's good. Oh, my. Sam Ritchie, 9 of 29 coming in from three-point range. Knocks down one there. Second Trojan three of the night. And Chatard back on top. Brunk's played by Long out front. Johnny waits. Bounce to Asher, who flares out left arc to get it. Daniel, hand off to Spearing. Nick drives, back to Asher. Gets to Spearing in the corner. Wars posting. Max backs, leans, hooks, puts it up too strong, but Spearing snuck in, took the rebound away. Now Denny knifing to the goal. He put it up, it rolled off, and Ritchie clears it away.
Two good looks though from Roncalli there right at the rim.
Really good looks there.
Those
Cooper
will start falling eventually.
Yeah, you keep getting those looks. I like their chances. Long on the far sideline, checked by Brunk. St. John handles between the circles. Trojans up one, 4 minutes to go here in the half. Cooper to McNeilis, back to Long. He hoists up a three that knuckleballs to the rim. Brunk corrals the long rebound. Johnny on the run, shovels to Denny trailing. Jacob down the baseline, pull up, and off the rim. Asher flew in but couldn't corral it. And it's picked up by St. John. He brings it the other way, weaves through the traffic. Ritchie a long three, that's good. Oh my. Two straight by Ritchie. Full timeout called. Bishop Chatard back up 4. We'll go ahead and take a break as well. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Rebel Basketball on CBS Sports, 1430.
Marian University.
Sam Ritchie. And the Trojans back up 4, 24-20. 3:36 to go here in the first half.
Chatard is 3 of 5 from three-point land in the game tonight, and that's really your difference right now.
Spearing takes the dribble to the left wing, bounce to Asher in the block. Daniel backing, spins to the baseline, jump hook off the window and in. That's a pretty shot by Asher. He has 6.
There's a height mismatch there.
We've talked all year long that Asher can be very effective if he takes his time.
Yeah.
And just waits to see where the defense is coming from. Cooper on the arc, picked up by Wars on a switch, pull up in the paint, is up and in. Tough shot by Carter, rather, not Cooper, Carter. Noah Carter with the bucket. His first 2. 26-22 the score. Spearing, hand to Donahue. Brunk, back to Donahue on the wing, played by Carter on a switch. Donahue cut off, flicks it back out to Spearing. Brunk driving, leaves for Spearing, open for 3. Ooh, around and off. Nick got a good look. But a tough rebound by Long brings it the other way. Shovels to Carter. He's cut off. Cooper Lewis, a long 3. That's off the rim and rebounded by Brunk. Donahue shows 3. Still has his dribble. Instead gives to Brunk. Johnny calls for Donahue to come get it. Asher posting. Daniel fouled on the catch by McNeilis, and the Rebels are in the bonus. So Daniel shoots a 1-and-1 here with 2:09 to go in the half, as that's team foul 7. Second on McNeilis. Denny has returned. Asher shoots a 1-and-1.
I like Roncalli's offensive sets now, just getting it down low, not really worrying about any shots other than what comes right at the rim.
First one's up and in for Asher. Looney's returned, as has Denny. One more for Daniel. That one's up and in. Rebels are perfect so far tonight from the foul line. 7 out of 7. 26-24. Roncalli back within 2. Carter gives to McNeilis at the volleyball line. Trojans trying to extend the Rebels out high. All 5 defenders above the foul line. Lewis back cutting as long. The pass went through his hands and out of bounds. To their credit, Chatard's held the lead, Nick, but their offense just isn't as fluid when Redmond's on the bench. As you would expect, he's their best player.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen with most high school teams when your best player goes to the bench. So Roncalli needs to take advantage now.
Inside 100 seconds to go, first half. Brunk got the step. He got to the rim, but he missed the shot against the contest of Long. Here come the Trojans the other way. Carter through the traffic. Long thought about a 3. Looney poked it free, and Asher has the loose ball. Up the floor, Donahue, 3 for the lead. Short, rebound caroms to Looney. Aiden turns, he shoots and scores. No way at 5'9" was Carter going to stop Looney from scoring there, 6 feet from the hoop. We're tied at 26. Michael Wantz applauding, wanting his team to dig in defensively. Rebels have fouls to give. Just 2 team fouls in the half. Carter at the jump circle, Lewis has it. Back to Carter. Carter, set shot of 3. That's off the front of the rim and rebounded by Looney. Brunk takes it the other way. Johnny to Donahue. Fakes the 3 on Long. To the bucket. He put it up and he put it in. Rebels are on top. Donahue's bucket has given the Rebels the lead, 28-26. Michael Wantz imploring for a stop here in the final 35 seconds. McNeilis, top of the circle. Rebels snuffed out the back cut. Long for 3. That's in and out. Rebounded by Donahue. Michael Wantz says 1 shot. 20 seconds to go as Brunk walks it into the forecourt with the Rebels up 2.
I agree, 1 shot.
Chatard's over the foul limit. Brunk between the circles, played by Long. Brunk gives to Looney at the elbow, flips it over to Johnny. Left side with 8. Johnny at the arc. Donahue, open 3 from the top. In and out. Rebounded by Lewis. He has time. He heaves from half court. He put it up off the front of the rim. Boy, he jumped right into Asher, and Daniel went straight up, and the officials did not buy that, to their credit.
Yeah.
So a late Rebel rush as Roncalli scores the period's final 6 points, and for just the second time in the last 7 games, the Rebels have a lead at half. 28-26 our score. We'll step out for 60 seconds and come back with the Beck's Service Center halftime show on the Rebel Media Network and CBS Sports 1430.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Callie's Rebels leading at the break by the score of 28-26 over the Trojans of Bishop Chatard. Take a look at how it unfolded. Rebels led 2-0 early, but then the Trojans scored 11 of the next 13 points, led by as much as 7 in the first quarter and led 14-10 after 1. Trojans led by as much as 4 in the second quarter at 18-14 and then 24-20, but then the Rebels scored the final 6 points of the period and 8 of the final 10. All told, it was an 18-12 Rebel advantage in the second quarter to take this lead of 28-26. And Nick, the defense tightened up a little bit here in the second quarter. Didn't give up quite as many layups in that second quarter.
Yeah, they definitely started to realize what Bishop Chatard was doing. They were setting screens out front by the key, and they would have guys run by. They would almost distract by having someone pop out like they were getting a pass, and then there would be someone staying there underneath the rim waiting for the actual pass to get a layup. And when Roncalli started to figure that out, then obviously they made the necessary adjustments, and it looked like they stopped at just about everything. They forced Chatard into some tough looks, either from outside or just very contested jump shots, and so that's where you saw the improvement.
Well, before we go any further, we are past the top of the hour, so we need to pause quickly for this 10-second station identification, reminding you you're listening to Roncalli Basketball on CBS Sports 1430.
Indy's home for hoops is CBS Sports 1430, WXNT AM Indianapolis, WZPL HD3 Greenfield, Indianapolis.
Well, the Rebels lead Bishop Chatard 28-26 here at the half. What we're going to do now is go ahead and take our 2-minute break. First one here of the Beck Service Center halftime show. When we come back, Nick has all your first half numbers. The Rebels lead it at the break. We're back in 2 minutes on CBS Sports 1430.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
On CBS Sports 1430, your Chick-fil-A scoreboard reads your Roncalli Rebels 28, Bishop Chatard Trojans 26. I'm here with your first half totals. We'll start with Roncalli. Aiden Looney had 4 points off the bench. Jacob Denny had 9 points, including a 5 of 5 free throw total. Brandon Berger had 2 points. Anthony Donahue had 2 points. Daniel Asher had 8 points, going 2 for 2 from the foul line, and Johnny Brunk closed out scoring with 3 points in the first half. Roncalli in that first half had 3 turnovers, was 1 of 6 from three-point land, and was a perfect 7 of 7 from the foul line. For the Bishop Chatard Trojans, Noah Carter had 2 points, Edrice Redmond had 5 points, Sam Ritchie had 13 points, going 1 of 2 from the foul line, Timmy McNeilis had 2 points, and Charleston Bulls closed out scoring with 4 points. In that first half, Bishop Chatard had 6 turnovers, was 3 of 8 from the three-point line, and was 1 of 2 from the foul line. Rob and I will be back to call the second half after this on CBS Sports 1430.
Throughout Chick-fil-A's history, the company has been on a journey to serve not only delicious food with a warm smile, but also offer a menu customers feel great about eating. The new Egg White Grill, a protein-packed breakfast sandwich, is a lower-calorie menu option made with a breakfast-sized portion of grilled chicken breast, freshly grilled egg whites, and American cheese served on a toasted multi-grain English muffin. Visit the Southport Road Chick-fil-A today and try one.
Schedule online, anytime. Getting an appointment with Ascension Care Teams at St. Vincent just got easier with online schedule.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Required of leaders. Come to Marian University, Indy's premier Catholic university, and let us help you find out what you're made of. You can apply for free today at marian.edu.
McDonald's proudly introduced each one of our quarter pounder.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
We get set to start this third quarter. Rebels leading Bishop Chatard 28-26. Perry Meridian leads New Pal 26-24 at the half. Pike all over Decatur Central 42-28. Brebeuf and Crispus Attucks all tied at 22. Lawrence Central leads North Central 34-22. And Warren Central leads Center Grove. That game being played at Warren, 30-24. Real original starters on the floor for the Rebels. To start this second half, Michael Wantz huddling his troops up for one final round of instructions. Johnny Brunk, Jacob Denny, Anthony Donahue, Max Wars, and Daniel Asher will break the huddle for the Rebels. We mentioned this is just the second time in the last 7 games that the Rebels have led at halftime. The Rebels are 2-2 this year when leading at halftime. That's not a bad stat, Nick, but when you consider they're 0-8 when they trail at halftime, better to lead than to trail. Trojans break the huddle with their original starters as well. Carter, Redmond, Bowles Jr., Lewis, and Ritchie. Although Bowles Jr. sat out the entire second quarter with foul trouble, and Redmond, I believe, sat out the duration of the second quarter as well.
Yeah.
Certainly most of it.
Most of it, yeah.
Rebel ball to start this second half. Moving left to right from our vantage point toward the north goal. Rebels usually draw something up out of the halftime break. Donahue in the corner, Denny facing up on Redmond. Asher, one-hand pass to Donahue at the right arc. Brunk in the corner, played by Bowles Jr. on a switch. Wars, pass too low. He couldn't corral it. It goes off the end line, back to the Trojans. That was the only place Brunk could throw that pass, was low and away, and Wars just couldn't get it.
Bounce was a little too far away from Wars, so when it ended up when it got to Wars, it was basically at his feet.
Bowles spins on Asher, handoff to Lewis. He's in the paint to Redmond. His pull-up 18-footer is too strong. And rebounded by Wars. Donahue, lob to Asher. Daniel catching traffic, out to Denny for 3. Bang! He got it. Boy, that was a tough catch by Asher to corral it, and then he found Denny for a three. Daniel had two defenders around him as he made that catch. Richie for three. He's got it. His third three of the game. Richie was 16. A season high for him. And previous was 14 against Oldenburg. Asher out to Wars. Brunk. Right corner Donahue. Takes the dribble back out front to Wars. Wars to Donahue in the corner for three. That's off the front of the rim. Nice block out by Richie to keep Asher away. Carter into the paint. Lewis a quick three on the wing. It's way short. Asher had the rebound, lost it, got on the floor, and flips to Brunk. Michael Wan says, let's hurry. Brunk to the rim. He put it up too strong. It spun off against the contest of Carter. Here comes Redmond in the lane. He drives to the hoop, shovels to Bowles Jr., and he short-armed the 10-footer. Michael Wants tells Brunk to walk it up. Rebels up two. Teams have traded three-point buckets in the first 2 minutes of this second half. Denny gets a high screen from Wars. Swings left side to Brunk. Johnny down to Asher, left block. Daniel lost it on the way up, flipped it up short. Probably should have brought it back in. Never got control of it. Bowles Jr. gave to a cutting Redmond. Now Brunk has it. Foot race to the goal. Johnny put it up, drew the foul at the rim on Redmond. Missed the shot, but he shoots two, and that's the third foul on Redmond.
Yeah, great defensive sets here from Roncalli right now. Forcing a turnover there, forcing a couple of bad shots from Bishop Chatard throughout, and really that three is the only spark that Chatard's had.
Brunk shoots two, first one up and in. Rebels 8 of 8 from the line tonight. The Trojans 1 for 2. Berger's in for Asher, and McNeilis in for Richie. For the Trojans, Redmond stays in the game for now with those 3 fouls. One more for Brunk, up and in. 5 points for Johnny. The lead is 4 for the Rebels, 33-29. 2.5 minutes into quarter number 3 from the Woodshed. Redmond high right gets a screen from McNeilis, swings it back to Bowles, who's not a three-point shooter. Carter attacks to the top of the circle, gives to Redmond. Bowles fakes a corner jumper, had it poked free. Loose ball in underneath, it's thrown right to Denny. Jacob crosses over, foul from behind, flip it up and in. Carter could not deter him as Denny too strong to finish. Carter just poked at him as he went by, and Jacob finished with the left hand. Brian Shaughnessy has seen enough. He wants a full timeout.
Normally the rule is when someone's going up for a fast break layup, if you're going to foul him. Don't let him get the and
Can't
one.
let the ball get a ball above the shoulders.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the old rule. Timeout Chatard, full timeout. We'll take one as well. 35-29, Rebels' biggest lead of the night. 5:14 to go in the third. We're back in 30 on CBS Sports 1430.
Steve Slow was in.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Rooted in Southside Indianapolis, Jockers Flowers is a household name among the community and local businesses alike. Family owned and operated, Jockers Flowers delivers quality through customer satisfaction and consistently stunning displays, baskets, and stonework. Call Jockers at 784-1614.
Well, we mentioned this is the second to last home game for the Rebels in this Woodshed, and a guy who put up a lot of points in this building. Class of 2009, Aaron Evans in the house tonight, number 4 all-time scorer in Rebel history. Denny missed the free throw, but Berger rebounds. Brunk for 3 off the front of the rim, and Redmond up high to get it. Foul by Berger. Denny's miss was the first Rebel free throw miss of the night. Berger takes the foul against Redmond. But that's what Berger's in there to do, Nick.
Yeah.
You talked about it earlier. Contest the boards, be rugged.
I mean, he got 1 offensive rebound. I mean, might as well contest for a second.
Lewis, right side, dribbles into the lane, lost the handle, shovels to Bowles Jr., back out to Redmond. Lewis is a big-time three-point shooter, but he's been unable to get going. You can see he's been more and more frustrated. That ball goes in the backcourt, and it's picked up by Redmond. It's a turnover.
Did not touch Berger.
Well, Redmond bumped into Berger,
yeah,
but Berger held his ground, went straight up. The officials no-called the contact, as they probably should have. And when Redmond went to go get the basketball, it was an over and back.
Yeah, Redmond was arguing that it touched Berger, which would have made him able to.
Brunk dragged the pivot foot when he pulled up the dribble for the back cut to Denny, and the Rebels turn it over.
Yeah.
6-point Rebel lead, 4:42 to go, third quarter. 35-29 our score. Carter walks it up for the Trojans. Picked up by Denny at the volleyball line. McNeilis fans out to get it. Lewis handoff to Redmond. Ball swung to Bowles Jr. in the corner. Dribble handoff to Redmond. Redmond a long two out front. That's way short. And the Rebels will watch it go off the sideline and out of bounds. Boy, Redmond has just not really been able to get going so far tonight. And that's a credit to the Rebel defense.
Yeah, they've really done a good job of shutting him down. He's averaging about 17 points per game. So
has just 5 and has not scored since the first quarter.
Nope, they've done a good job of closing out on shots, not allowing too many offensive rebounds.
Looney's back in for the Rebels, replacing Wars. Looney at the arc, turning face on Bowles Jr. Dribbled it right off his foot, and is picked up by Bowles Jr. Here come the Trojans the other way. Carter St. John is in for the Trojans. Carter gives to St. John. Back cutting is Carter, but no space to shoot underneath. Back to Bowles Jr., the ball reversed. And Reese Redmond took a seat when St. John checked in. Bowles Jr. in the corner, St. John. Chatard going really nowhere here as McNeilis has it. Carter St. John's open for a three on the wing. That's too strong. Rebound grab by McNeilis. Back out to Bowles Jr. And the ball knocked out of bounds, touched by Donahue last. And Redmond's right back into the game. I think Brian Shaughnessy saw where this offense was going with Redmond on the bench.
Probably not going.
Yeah, or not going. That's a better point. 6-point Rebel lead. And a legal screen the other way. Yep, Lewis has been holding a couple times on that possession. And Tim Cody blows the whistle and gives Lewis his first foul, the team's third. Asher's back in for Berger for the Rebels. And Ritchie returns for the Trojans. So let's set the lineups for you. Looney, Brunk, Denny, Asher, and Donahue, the Rebel 5. Redmond, St. John, Bowles Jr., Lewis, and Ritchie, the 5 on the floor for the Trojans. 6-point Rebel lead in a low-scoring third quarter. Lob to Asher, the catch, the finish! Denny threw it over the fronting defender, and Asher collected and finished Daniels into double figures. He has 10.
Well, I was about to say don't rush anything, but I mean they saw an opportunity and they took it right to the rim.
Redmond got underneath. He put it up over Brunk and in and drew the foul. Another case of not getting the switches called out.
Yeah.
Brunk's foul, his first, team second. Redmond's first hoop since the first quarter. And Chatard's first points in almost 4 minutes. They have not scored since the 6:50 mark. Redmond's free throw is off the rim and rebounded by Looney. 37-31, the lead is 6. Donahue takes the dribble to the top of the key, leaves for Looney. Michael Wantz says he wants fist. Brunk gives to Looney on the wing. Now Denny attacks baseline to the bucket. He put it up in and out. Got his own rebound. Put it up and no good, but drew a foul. Denny staying with it. And he's rewarded with a trip to the line with 2:33 to go in the third.
Can't believe that layup didn't go in. It was halfway down.
Well, credit on that first attempt. The 5'9" freshman, Carter St. John, contested that shot without fouling. He went straight up. And Lewis actually took the foul on the help. His second, team fourth. Denny missed the first free throw. Jacob had made 5 in a row to start the game. He's missed 2 straight.
Well, he's bound to hit this one then.
Yep. reverse jinx on the way and short. Nope, it's still in play. 37-31. Good try, though. Redmond, left side to Ritchie. He's hit 3 threes tonight. Tries baseline on Looney. Back out front to St. John. Chatard has scored just 5 points in the period. The Rebels 9. Low scoring third quarter, as we mentioned. St. John in the left corner. And Donahue holds Lewis on a cut. That's Donahue's first foul, team third. Each team with, actually the Trojans have 14 fouls. 2:12 to go here in the third quarter. The Rebel lead is 6. 37-31. Redmond putting it in the near sideline forecourt. St. John walks it up against the pressure of Denny. Over to Redmond. Gives to Ritchie on the left side. Bowles Jr. Swing over to Lewis. St. John. Lewis a long three. That's off the rim. Well, you'll give up 25-footers all day if he wants to take those. Brunk's on the run, and he runs into Lewis. A blocking foul called on Lewis. His third. All have come in this quarter. He is clearly getting frustrated, Lewis. He's at 36 threes on the season.
I mean, there was no... He was at the free throw line. There's no need to try and take a charge there.
No. And he'll check out, will Lewis, replaced by Andre Long. Nick Spearing has come in for the Rebels, replacing Donahue. 1:51 to go. Third quarter, Rebels lead by 6. Brunk takes the dribble near sideline. Now he goes back to the far sideline, inside 100 seconds, to the goal with a left hand, up and in. Circle drive by Brunk, 4 in the quarter, 7 in the ball game. Rebels have their biggest lead of the night, 8. 39-31. Bowles Jr. had it poked free on a catch at the block, but Looney called for a foul. Anticipated that cut, did Aiden. But he was a half step late. Aiden's foul, his first, team 4.
But at least he was there and not giving up a layup.
Yep, great point, yep. Redmond baseline right, out to Bowles Jr. Ritchie flares out. Redmond can't find a driving angle on Denny, so he backs it out. Nice defense by Jacob. Trojans reload. Long, and Redmond cut in, and the Rebels didn't call the switch. Micah Wantz is claiming some illegal screens are being set. He is red hot. 39-33. Inside a minute to go, third quarter. Brunk crosses up Ritchie. Couldn't find the space, though, and Rebels reload. Looney. Over to Denny. Denny to the bucket. Put it up, and no good. A lot of contact, got his own rebound, and the Trojans handled it on the baseline, out of bounds. It stays with the Rebels.
Wow.
Boy, Carter St. John stood in to take a charge. There was a lot of contact there to no call that.
I would assume they would have at least called something.
6-point Rebel lead, 44 2/10 to go in the third. Brunk on the left baseline. Timeout Rebels.
Timeout Rebels.
What do we have here, Kenny Yacht? 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. 39-33. The Rebels lead by 6 on the Chick-fil-A board, 44. And 2/10 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Roncalli High School serves over 1,200 students in a nurturing atmosphere that provides academic, social, and spiritual growth in the Catholic tradition. Roncalli has been recognized 3 times as the Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. Roncalli High School, preparation for life.
39-33 the score. Rebels have outscored the Trojans 11-7 here in the period. Michael Wantz having a conversation with Rob Fulkerson about what he thinks are some illegal Chatard screens that have facilitated some of those easy back cut layups they've converted tonight.
Well, they've called one, and it makes sense.
Off the lob, into Asher, the catch, the jump hook, up and in. That was very efficient.
Yep.
Now the Rebels need a stop to close out the quarter, up 8. Michael Wantz is yelling to fight through the illegal screens, trying to plant a little subliminal messaging. Reese. Bowles Jr. out to Redmond. His three out front over Brunk is off the rim. Rebound tapped and controlled by Denny. Michael Wantz says one shot. Brunk into the forecourt. Gets the call from Coach Wantz. Now Johnny sets up between the circles with 8 seconds to go. He's played by Long. He crossed him up. He's to the foul line. He's in trouble. The lean, the scoop is short. Tapped up no by Denny, and that'll do it. But the Rebels outscore the Trojans 13-7 in the period and lead 41-33 at the Woodshed. As the drummers come out on the floor, we'll take a break. And after this on CBS Sports 1430.
Injured, Ortho Indy urgent.
Jacob Denny 14, Daniel Asher 12 for the Rebels. Roncalli leads by 8, 41-33 as we head to the fourth. Nick, what'd you see from the Rebels in that third quarter?
Well, I think the comment of the year might be fight through the illegal screens from Coach Wantz there. But they definitely did close down on defense a little bit more. And I think on the other end, on the offensive end, they were getting just as good a looks as they were getting in that second quarter when they outscored Chatard 18-12. So, I mean, I think if they just keep doing what they're doing, forcing Chatard into some deep looks, definitely getting to the rim on the offensive end, then they'll be in great position here down the stretch.
Trojans with the ball to start the final period. Lewis is back in. He has it on the wing, picked up by Brunk on a switch. Richie in the corner, fading for three. That's way short. He got his own rebound. And he put it up and in. He knew it was short. He followed it and laid it in. That's good awareness by Richie. He has 18. 41-35. Denny to the baseline. Cut off, leaning, shooting, and scoring. Boy, Jacob Denny with a tough drive. He has 16. Down the baseline long, and a double team. Rebels went straight up. That's a jump ball, and that's a Rebel possession. So Denny and Wars held their ground down there, and the Rebels are rewarded with a turnover. Forced. Rebel ball and an 8-point lead. Brunk facing up on Long. Picked up by Bowles Jr. on a switch. Finds Wars. Max a long two on the way. It's air ball short. And Denny saved it, though, and the ball goes to Redmond. Almost a great play. Redmond pull-up jumper from the elbow. Good. That's a tough shot. Going full speed and to check up at the elbow with the jumper. Big-time shot by the All-City guard, Ed Reese Redmond. 43-37. Spearing. Finds Denny curling. Pull up from 10. Partially blocked by Richie. Rebounded by Long. Long leaves to Richie at the left arc. 43-37, 90 seconds gone, fourth quarter. Rebel lead is 6. Redmond curling, elbow jumper up and good again. Same spot, same result. Redmond has 13. And the lead down to 4. Michael Wantz would like a full timeout. We'll do the same. 43-39 at the Woodshed, 6:12 to go. We'll step out, come back on CBS Sports 1430.
Hi folks, it's Ben Stallings.
The score. Take a look at our scoring totals. Redmond has 13 for the Trojans, Carter 2, Ritchie 18, McNeilis 2, and Bowles 4. For a total of 39 for the Rebels. Jacob Denny and Daniel Asher are both in double figures with 16 and 12 respectively. Johnny Brunk 7. Aiden Looney 4, Brandon Berger and Anthony Donahue 2 apiece. Rebel ball out of the timeout. Rebels have led throughout the second half, grabbed the lead on a 6-0 run to close out the second quarter. Spearing, Brunk, Looney, Asher, and Denny, the Rebel 5. Redmond, Long, Bowles Jr., Lewis, and Ritchie, the 5 on the floor for the Trojans.
I'd really like to see Roncalli get it to the rim. That's where they've been the most successful tonight.
Brunk out front, has the dribble, backs it out, shovels to Spearing on the right wing. Nick floats it cross court to Looney. Asher in the block, back out to Denny. Jacob, no driving angle, back to Asher in low, it's deflected. Daniel goes to get it in the left corner. Daniel spins down the baseline, nice pass across the paint to Looney, who finishes and puts it up and in. What a great find by Asher and a finish by Looney.
Well, that looked like a mess over there. Asher had it in the corner, it looked like he was trapped. Did one of the old spin moves and then found Looney for the nice and one.
I'm not sure how he extricated himself from that. That's the 4th foul on Redmond, too. That's a big call. Looney hits the free throw. Team foul 6. That's a huge play.
Yeah.
The 4th foul on Redmond, the 6th foul on the Trojans, so the Rebels are at the doorstep of the bonus, and the lead is back to 7.
When Redmond had Chatard's last 4 points, there were nice jump shots, but now he's got 4 fouls and can't be as aggressive.
He has the ball out front against Spearing. Bowles turns and face. Ritchie on the wing, in a double team to Redmond in the corner. Redmond wants a clear out against Spearing. Jumps up a 3, that's off the rim. Rebounded by Donahue, who's come back in for Brunk to give Johnny a quick rest. Denny right side, Michael Wantz says no hurry. You see the Rebels get very deliberate here in the final 5 minutes. You've got to take care of the basketball and get good shots. Donahue's on the wing. Back out front, Looney. Rebels content to run some clock. 4:50 to go. Cross court skip to Donahue. Facing up on Lewis, left arc. Anthony takes it to the top. 5-second count initiated. Hand off to Denny. Jacob holds and waits. Long gives him room, but not close enough to initiate the count. Now Jacob crosses up, backs it out. Still working at the timeline. Into the paint, to the rim. Put it up, put it in! Well, the Rebels ran about 40 minutes of clock and got a layup. That's a perfect scenario. Denny has 18, and the Trojans want time. 30-second timeout will stay here. 4:22 to go. Rebels have their biggest lead of the night, 9. 48-39.
While some believe an athlete's peak performance is limited, others dream of new ways to expand with the boundaries of what the human body can achieve. At St. Vincent, sports performance is not a dream but reality. The science of sports performance as defined by St. Vincent. The athletes they serve live this dream daily, reaching new heights of strength, agility, balance, endurance, and speed.
As we said earlier, the 4th all-time leading scorer, Aaron Evans, in the house tonight. Class of 2009, he put up some big games in this woodshed. Now an assistant coach at Marion University. Great to see Coach Evans here tonight. One of my favorite players to watch in a Rebel uniform. That's a guy who could get to the foul line whenever he wanted.
Those are easy points.
Looney in the passing lane almost poked it away from Ritchie. Got away with a hook move on Looney. Carter's back in the game. He's cut off on a lane drive. Ball swung back to Ritchie on the left side against Looney. Aiden cut him off. Now Carter, foul line jumper, up and in. Tough shot by Noah Carter. He has 4. That stops a quick 5-0 Rebel run. Lead back to 7. We're halfway through the final period. Denny against Redmond. Redmond playing with 4 fouls. Bowles takes Denny on a switch. Forced to pass in, but it's broken up. Right back to Denny. Rebels reset. Denny against Bowles Jr. out front. Hands to Spearing. Nick on the wing to Denny, played by Bowles Jr. Blows by him, cut off on the baseline. Swing over to Spearing. Nick backs it out, and he threw it right to Redmond. Looney is back, and Redmond finishes. Good finish by Redmond. He has 6 in the period, and it's back to a 5-point game. Donahue in the left corner. To the basket against Carter, and what's the call? Foul called, timeout. Michael Wantz called time before the contact at the rim. 30-second timeout will stay here. 3:02 to go in the ball game. Rebels lead on the Chick-fil-A board, 48-43.
As a leader and innovator in the printing industry, Harding Portman Group's reputation as a powerful printing resource speaks volumes about who they are as a company. Their passion and commitment has not faded over time, and as a result, the level of trust and confidence their customers place in them is unparalleled. Harding Portman Group, changing the way you think and feel about printing.
48-43. Rebels have led throughout this second half. Brunk's back in for Spearing.
So if you can get Denny the ball, especially if Redmond's playing him with 4 fouls, I want him to attack, because either Redmond's going to foul him and foul out, or give him an easy layup.
Yep. Denny has it on the wing against Redmond. Drives right by him to the bucket. He put it up. A lot of contact. Got his own. He's pulled to the ground. And a jump ball called. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. It's a WWE
and the arrow
takedown.
will give it to the Trojans. There was a lot of contact on that initial Denny shot. My, oh, my. Well, they wiped the floor up. Good to see the mayor of East Hill Valley, Joe Schaefer, in the house tonight. (48-43). Rebel lead is 5. Redmond has 6 in the quarter, 15 in the game. Gives to Carter. Now Bowles Jr. Hands to Carter, who drives. Lost the handle, out of bounds. Last touch by Looney off the end line. 2:43 to go. Rebel lead is 5. Rebel coaches calling out what their defensive coverages are on this inbound play. Float out to Ritchie, top side. Bowles Jr. Pass deflected. Redmond had it knocked free, but Bowles Jr. got it back. Now Lewis steps into a 3. That's short. Rebounded by Asher. Donahue up the floor. He jams on the brakes. Rebels will run some clock, up 5. Ritchie plays Brunk high left. Johnny has a dribble. He's into the lane. Finds Denny. Jacob backs it out. 2:15 to go. Next Chatard foul will be a 1-and-1 for the Rebels. And Denny's fouled by Bowles Jr. with 2:10 left. So the Rebels are going to be in position to possibly put this game away from the foul line. But you got to knock them down.
Yeah. Denny's very good foul shooter, but he's missed his last 3. So
hit the first 5. Berger's back in for Asher. 1-and-1 for Denny here. He has a team high 18. First one up. Good. Trojans have made just 4 threes tonight. Ritchie's hit 3 of them. Cooper Lewis, their best 3-point shooter, he has not been able to find the mark tonight. One more for Denny. That one up, that one in. Second 20-point game of the season for Jacob. 50-43, 2:05 to go. Redmond. Denny draws the defensive assignment over to Carter at the arc. Lewis near sideline, crowd chanting for defense. Second to last game here at the Woodshed. Brunk. Redmond drives to the basket, missed the shot. Brunk taps the rebound to Looney. Looney to Denny, leaking out, threw it out ahead and out of bounds. Looney made a play, but threw it too far ahead.
Yep. Could have given that one.
You need to run clock more than you need to get the hit ahead there.
Yeah.
50-43. Inside, 100 seconds to go. Redmond on the wing. Ball swung to Ritchie. And an arm bar on Redmond as Redmond was cutting. Rebel coach is still yelling for those illegal screens to be called. Instead, Denny takes the foul, his second, team fifth.
Coach Want's going to have nightmares about those illegal screens.
Yes, he is. 1:34 to go. Carter inbounding, baseline left, and now we've got a holding foul on the Rebels before the ball was put in on Berger. That's team foul 6. So the next Rebel foul will put the Trojans in the bonus. Redmond, baseline left. Takes a look, gives to a cutting Ritchie. He put it up and in. Ritchie has 20. 50-45. Inside 1 minute 35 to go. Brunk against Lewis. Here comes a double team. Johnny calls timeout. Timeout called. They've got one of each, but they call full timeout. No, that's their last one. Full timeout called. Last timeout for the Rebels. We'll step out for 30 seconds and do the same. Roncalli leads 50-45, 1:16 to go. Buff leads Addicts 31-30 after 3. Warren Central began to pull away from Center Grove up 56-40 with 3 minutes to go, and halfway through the final quarter at Perry Meridian, Falcons lead New Pal 45-44. Daniel Asher's return for Berger. 1:16 to go. Rebels with the ball on a 5-point lead. Donahue in the backcourt to Brunk. Carter's up tight. Here comes the double team, and Carter fouls Brunk. Grabbed his shirt as Johnny spun away. Carter's foul, his third, team 8. Johnny shoots a 1-and-1 here with 1:12 to go. Johnny a 70%er on the year, the sophomore left-hander. He's 2 out of 2 tonight. On the way, good. Nothing but the bottom.
Now on defense, you just don't want to give up anything easy.
And this is a big one here because this would put you up 7, make it a 3-possession lead. Second one up, second one in. See Roncalli principal Chuck Weisenbach standing at the stage end. He was body Englishing that second free throw to go. Redmond drive and kick. Ritchie in the corner for 3. Looney blocked the shot and grabbed his own rebound, but he tight-roped the sideline, couldn't stay in bounds. But a great play by Looney to block that shot without fouling Ritchie. Wow, what a play.
But, yeah.
1:02 to go. Rebels still up 7. The Trojans have the basketball, however.
Especially at this level, you don't see too many threes straight up blocked like that.
Almost always a foul's called. Lewis, a quick 3 out front. That one's in and out. Brunk takes the rebound. And Brunk is fouled with 55 and 1/10 seconds to go. If that's Redmond, that's 5. Ritchie was also there. I think Ritchie's going to get it. Yep, Kenny Yacht gives it to Ritchie. His first, team 9. So we head to the other end, and Brunk shoots another 1-and-1, the last of the night. That's team foul 9 on the Trojans. 55 and 1/10 to go. Rebels up 7. Johnny is 4 for 4 tonight from the line. Measures the first one. Got it. 6th time this year, Johnny's moved in, scored in double figures. He has 10, joining Denny, who has a game-high 20, and Asher with 12. One more for Johnny, up and in. He got a roll. 54-45, final 55 seconds. Carter in a hurry. Down the lane, gives to Redmond. Corner 3 on the way, no. And it kicks up over the top of the backboard and out of bounds, back to the Rebels.
Just to show you the defense between the two halves, Roncalli in that first half. Chatard was 3 of 8 from the three-point line. This half, 1 of 11.
Wow. And some of those have been some bad shots, some deep threes that were probably ill-advised, but you're right. A lot of that has to do with defense. And you could even say some of the bad shots are a case where a guy just gets frustrated because of Roncalli's defense and takes a bad one. Donahue has to get it over. Dangerous pass almost stolen by Carter, but Brunk was able to get it. Johnny floats over to Asher, over to Looney. Rebels playing keep way up 9. Brunk on the far side, into the paint, swings to Asher, back to Denny. Rebels running the clock down, inside 30 seconds to go, and Donahue's wrapped up with 25.7 by Bowles Jr. His 4th, team 10. Donahue shoots 2. This one looking to be in good shape for the Rebels right now. 25 and 7/10 to go. First one up and in for Donahue. Berger's back in for Asher. (55-45). Second one good for Donahue, as you would expect from an 89%er. 56-45. Final 25 seconds. Carter on the run. Down the lane. Shovels to Lewis. He's to the bucket. Left it for Bowles Jr. and Donahue stole it away. Rebels do have to get it over. Looney back to Donahue. Donahue to the near sideline. And he kicks to Berger and lets Brandon hold it. Over to Brunk. And this one will wind down from the woodshed. If you're going to break a 3-game losing streak, best to do it against your longtime rival, the Bishop Chatard Trojans. It's all Rebels here in the second half as Roncalli pulls away to win this one at the woodshed over the Bishop Chatard Trojans. Our final, Roncalli 56, Bishop Chatard 45, and in the process, the Rebels win their 15th in a row over their north side rivals. Stay tuned. We'll step out for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll have all the particulars on tonight's Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. It's Around the Bend, and it's next on CBS Sports 1430.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Rebels in their 3-game losing streak and post a 56-45 win over the Bishop Chatard Trojans. Let's take a look at how it all unfolded. Back and forth in the first half. Actually, the first quarter was the Trojans' quarter. They led by as much as 7 in that first quarter, 11-4, and led 14-10 after 1. But the Rebels flipped the script in quarter number 2. Tonight was the 6th time in 7 games the Rebels found themselves down after 1, but they grabbed a halftime lead for just the 2nd time in 7 games. outscoring the Trojans 18-12 in the period. Game turned on a 6-0 run to close out the half. That gave the Rebels the lead for good. Roncalli limiting the Trojans to just 7 points in the third, outscoring them 13-7. Leading by as much as 8, heading into the final period. In the fourth quarter, the Trojans got as close as 6, make it 4, 43-39, but then Jacob Denny scored 5 in a row. Actually, Aiden Looney had a 3-point play, and then Jacob Denny got a bucket. But that 5-0 burst gave the Rebels all the cushion they need. The Trojans would get back to 5, but the Rebels put the game away from the foul line, hitting 9 of 9 from the stripe in the final quarter. Outscoring the Trojans in the process in the fourth, 15-12. And get back in the win column for the first time since a victory on the road at Shelbyville back on January the 15th. And this is a good one to start the week, Nick, to get this win over a longtime rival and have all sorts of momentum heading into that game Saturday, another rivalry game at Beech Grove.
Yeah, and in that first quarter, it didn't look very promising, but, I mean, after that first little section where they just didn't play well, I mean, they turn it on, and I'm thinking back to the game, there wasn't really a time where I was worried that Chatard was going to come back. I mean, they pulled to maybe 5 or 6 there a couple times, but there wasn't really a time where I felt like, oh no, they're in trouble. They're going to give up a run here, because they really did look solid on both ends of the court for the majority of the night.
Well, the Rebels led by Jacob Denny. He had a team-high 20 points. Sam Ritchie had a season-high 20 points for the Trojans. We'll take our first and only break here on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. When we come back, we'll hand out our postgame awards. Nick will run down all of tonight's totals, talk to Rebel head coach Micah Wantz, and we'll make sure you're clear on the broadcast schedule to close out the week. A couple games for you on the schedule. We'll tell you all about it when we come back on CBS Sports 1430.
Steve's Flowers and Gifts.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
What time do you have to be back to heaven?
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Final time here on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts post-game show. Rebels victorious tonight over the Bishop Chatard Trojans. 56-45 our score. We're joined by Rebel head coach Micah Wantz. Coach, you talked in the open about switching and how your plan was to switch more than you normally do. They got a lot of layups in that first quarter and change, but not as many later in the game. What sorts of adjustments did you make to the switches?
We didn't really make any adjustments. I thought the guys just did a little bit better job of getting past that initial screen up talking a little bit more. But just getting past that initial screen. Coach Shaughnessy did a good job. Then he started moving the screen farther to the ball side, so then we started having to go underneath it, which was a good adjustment by them. But just good job talking. Coach Jamin Workey did a nice job with the scouts, so we kind of knew where they were going to be and what they were trying to do. And obviously holding their shooter to 0 is a great job, just a great team effort.
Well, we talked about Cooper Lewis during the game. Their number 2 scorer, the only other double-figure scorer in their lineup, he came in averaging 13 a game. He did not score. And Nick pointed out the three-point shooting numbers defensively by half. Go through those, Nick.
So in that first half, they were 3 of 8 from three-point land, and in the second half, they were 1 of 11. So they were 4 of 19 on the night.
We're getting out those guys a little bit, and we didn't think Richie would be like that. He kind of had a career night, so we kind of got out on him a little bit more. And yeah, just a nice job. I thought we rebounded the ball well. There's a couple times I remember maybe they had an offensive rebound, but other than that, I thought we guarded them really well. And we talked about making winning plays in the fourth quarter. We haven't been doing that. Thought we did tonight. Or maybe more importantly, we didn't make any losing plays. We took care of the ball for the most part and made free throws.
9 out of 9 from the foul line in the fourth quarter. That'll certainly help you put the game away. What was your game plan? We talked in the pregame show more about defense, your offensive game plan, and how do you feel like you executed that tonight?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We always want to jam it inside, and I thought Danny does a good job. I would love to play with Danny Asher because if it's there, he makes his move. If it's not, I feel like he gets it out to the guards right away, and that just opens everything out. So we always want to establish our offense inside out versus outside in. But always want to jam it inside, take care of the ball, and, at the end of the day, you got to make shots.
That play that he made that got Denny the 3 to start the third quarter, where he went up and one-hand tapped it out of a double team, there aren't very many guys in Marion County that can make that play.
No, he does a nice job, and he's being aggressive. Guys are trying to find themselves a little bit and find their way, and maybe now at the 1st of February we're finally kind of knowing our roles and knowing how we want to be here.
What does having a guy like Jacob Denny do for your offense in terms of when it bogs down? He's a guy that maybe, you think about a guy like Aaron Evans or somebody like that could, when you needed something, just put his head down and get to the rim.
Yeah. Being able to get easy buckets, like we've had some really good teams here that haven't had that ability just to go get a bucket. The play that I think of is, we run 40, 45 seconds off the clock, and he just runs right down the middle. Somebody else is starting to get us easy buckets as well as Aiden Looney. When we throw it there to him at the elbow and kind of clear out, he drives it hard right. He did turn it over once down here, but he's getting us easy buckets. It's so, I can't even begin to tell you how nice it is as a coach to be able to call somebody's number like that and know they can get you a bucket. And Jake's great at that. And I wish I could take credit, but we've been giving him more room now too. I wish I could take credit for some great plan, but for whatever reason, he's had a lot more room to maneuver here later in that season than he has early on.
We'll let you get back to it. Quick turnaround, about 36 hours. We'll see you at Beach Grove on Saturday.
All right, can't wait, guys. Thanks.
That's Rebel head coach Micah Wantz. We appreciate him taking a few moments for us here on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts post-game show. We'll stay here, and Nick will run down tonight's totals.
For your final numbers tonight, we'll start with Roncalli. Aiden Looney had 7, and he was 1 of 1 from the foul line. Jacob Denny had 20 points to lead scores for Roncalli. He was 7 of 10 from the foul line. Brandon Berger had 2 points. Anthony Donahue had 4 points, going 2 of 2 from the foul line. Daniel Asher had 12 points, also going 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And Johnny Brunk closed out scoring for Roncalli with 11 points, going 6 of 6 from the foul line. In the game tonight, Roncalli had 7 turnovers, was 2 of 9 from the three-point line, and was 18 of 21 from the free throw line. For the Bishop Chatard Trojans, Noah Carter had 4 points. Reese Redmond had 15 points, going 0 of 1 from the foul line. Sam Ritchie had 20 points and was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Timmy McNeils had 2 points, and Charleston Bulls had 4 points to close out scoring. For Bishop Chatard tonight, they had 12 turnovers, was 4 of 19 from three-point line, and was 1 of 3 from the foul line.
Well, you mentioned that 1 of 3. That's the second straight game that Rebel opponents have shot just 3 free throws. At Greenwood, the Woodmen were 2 out of 3. So you add the 2 games together, the Rebels have outscored the opposition 28-3 from the foul line over the last 2 games. We've still got a couple other things to hit to in this post-game show, but before we go any further, we are past the top of the hour. So let's step out quickly and pause for this 10-second station identification, reminding you you're listening to Roncalli Rebels basketball on CBS Sports 1430.
Indy's home for hoops is CBS Sports 1430, WXNT AM Indianapolis, WZPL HD3 Greenfield, Indianapolis.
Well, time now to hand out our Ortho Indy South Star of the Game. I don't think there's any question which way we go with that. Jacob Denny with a game with a Rebel high 20 points, his second 20-point game of the season, topped only by his career-high 26 that he had in the 3rd game of the year against Covenant Christian. Jacob with 4 points in the first, 5 in the second, 5 in the third, and then a big 6 points in the 4th, including 2 of 2 from the foul line to help the Rebels put the game away. So Jacob Denny, the 6'2 senior guard, he is tonight's Ortho Indy South Star of the Game.
At Ortho Indy South, their mission is to provide the highest quality comprehensive bone, joint, spine, and muscle care to patients throughout the Midwest, the United States, and around the world. From diagnosis to recovery, their team is ready to get you back in action. Choose Ortho Indy South to be your official orthopedic provider.
Well, we update the records. The Trojans have now dropped 3 in a row, fallen 9-6 on the year, 5-2 on the road. They'll next be in action on Tuesday night on the road at Class 1A Metropolitan. Meanwhile, the Rebels in their 3-game skid proved a 3-6 here at the Woodshed, 4-11 overall. And they'll be back at it on Saturday afternoon at Beech Grove. Pregame shows 2:15 the start time for that one, 2:30 our tip time for a special afternoon start. That game can be heard on CBS Sports 1430 and RebelMediaNetwork.com. With the win, Trojans still lead the all-time series 35-30, and 15-13 they lead the advantage here at the Woodshed. But the Rebels with the win tonight have won 14 straight over Bishop Chatard and 7 straight here in this building. One other programming note before we say goodnight. We'll be back with you tomorrow night on RebelMediaNetwork.com for girls sectional semifinal action from Southport. Lady Rebels coming off a huge 22-point victory over Pike in round 1 on Tuesday night. They'll play the host Cardinals tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Pregame show 5:45 on RebelMediaNetwork.com. We hope you can join us for that one as well. But some final thoughts tonight, Nick. Big win for the Rebels to get back in the win column and take some momentum into the rivalry game on Saturday.
Yeah, and Coach said in the pregame interview, he talked about just doing less of the wrong things, and I think that you really saw that from Roncalli tonight. They didn't have to be perfect. I mean, you're never going to see a team that plays a perfect basketball game. They just did a lot of the right things throughout the entirety of the game. Even in that first quarter when they were giving up that sort of that run for Bishop Chatard, they still did a lot of good things to get back into the game, take the lead, and take control. And once they were in that position, unlike a couple of the games we've seen this year, they just didn't give it up. They did play well throughout the entirety of the game.
Well, again, we'll have the next boys broadcast for you on Saturday afternoon from Beech Grove, 2:15 the pregame showtime. And we'll have the girls sectional semifinal tomorrow night from Southport beginning at 5:45. Tonight's broadcast has been a production of the Rebel Media Network. The executive producer is Gary Armbruster. Our network producer is Katie Ayers. Our video producer is Stefan Welsh. Our director tonight, Logan Curie. Our camera op tonight, Rocco Sharp. Our in-studio producer doing a great job keeping us on track and on time in our CBS Sports 1430 studios, Chloe Tyson. And our technical director here on the network is Ms. Darla Coop. For Nick's Who's Michael, I'm Rob Brown. Again, our final tonight from the Woodshed. Rebels defeat Bishop Chatard by the score of 56-45. Till we talk to you next time, on behalf of our entire Rebel Media Network crew, it's been Rob Brown saying so long, everybody.